Lee, you ready? We're about to do a review for the game.
Yep. What game?
The game. The game.
Oh.
This is our review of
The game.
The game is a hand management cooperative style card game.
Where your goal is to sequentially place cards and get rid of all the cards in the deck.
At the start of the game, you're going to have 4 rows. You're going to have 100 and 100 going down and 1 and 1 going up.
During their turn, each player will take 1 card from their hand and sequentially place it in one of the rows.
The trick is, on the rows for the 1, you have to count in ascending order going up to 100. And on the 100 rows, you count down, descending from 100 to 1.
And once you've passed a number, you can't go back and play any of the numbers that would have come before it.
So the goal of the game is for all the players playing to get rid of all the cards in the deck.
The ultimate goal is to get 0 cards left. But if you have about 10 or less, that's still a really good score.
The first thing that you'll notice when you open the card game, the game, is that it's basically a card game. You have 102 cards, 2 to 98, plus 2 1 cards, and 2 100 cards. And that's it. Even though it's just a deck of cards, each set of 10 has its own kind of pattern. So for example, you have this with 80, and in the 50s, you have this kind of unique pattern. In the 90s, you have this atomic symbol. So all sets of 10 have their own design. To kind of break up the monotony of just straight 100 cards, but then also to help keep track of which row of 10 are we in? Where are we at? Oh, we're in the 50s. I see that. So we're about in the middle of where we should be.
I did not know that. So as we're just playing, sometimes we're looking at these cards and it's like, is it this? Is it this? But knowing that pattern thing now, I think I would have known. I think I would have paid attention more of what should have gone where.
One of the things that Teresa noticed first off was that some of the cards may end up being a little hard to see or understand depending on where you're sitting at the table. So is this an 86 or is it a 98? I could see where she was coming from, but if you know that the pattern is that this is in the 90s, then you'd know that, oh, it's 98.
So it is a cooperative game. We don't play a lot of those frequently, but this one, you can communicate. There are just some rules, like you can't say what numbers you have, but you can hint. Obviously don't speak in code or spell it out, but...
I have the TWO card.
While we were playing, there was a lot of vocabulary words that were getting thrown out. It started off simple, like, I'm close to this. And then it would be like, I'm microscopically close. Or I'm nanoscopically. So, we started using words until eventually we were like, okay, I don't think nano means what you think nano means anymore.
Whether you're playing a solitaire game or whether you're playing with 2, 3, 4 other people, you have to be able to kind of gauge when you should play a card and when you should draw a card. So you have to play 2 cards on your turn no matter what. So even if you have like the worst cards imaginable, you have to play 2 before it can go to the next player. Or if you're playing solitaire, you have to play 2 before you can draw 2 more. So you have to try to choose which ones are the best and communicate that with each other without giving too much away.
As the game keeps going, if you have 2 rows that you're playing, eventually they both kind of meet in the middle. And then we're all just sitting here using our vocabulary words like, ooh, I'm close. No, I'm close. Like, but don't play this. And then eventually it's just like, just play the card. Just play and we'll see what happens. One thing that Teresa did mention was just her frustration with the end game. Like I said, we're all just kind of sitting around just saying words like, oh, like this. She felt like that kind of dragged on a little bit too much, and we all just needed to throw down our cards.
Yeah, if you're not really into the, ooh, what can we do? What can we play? And trying to get there, if you're not into the game, it can really be kind of a boring game.
For this type of game, just numbers and whatnot for what it is, I'm going to say I'm like right in the middle of the road, so 5, maybe less. Like, I don't know if this is a game we're going to play more. 4.5. Let's go there.
I think it's perfectly fine. I'm going to give it a 6. I didn't think it was all that bad. I enjoyed playing it. I like it as a solitaire game because you're not so dependent on other people making choices. But even as a cooperative game, it's still kind of fun. So I'm going to give it a 6.
And Teresa gave it a 0?
And Juliana gave it a 7.5. And that was our review of The Game.
What'd you think? Are you ready to play the game, The Game? Let us know in the comments below.
And if you like our content, please subscribe to our channel.
Until next time, I'm Lee.
And I'm Kenny.